So Kohlberg has set up this moral reasoning study. So you've probably heard of this example. A husband has a wife who's sick. She needs some medicine, and he can't afford the medicine because the cost is, astronomical. So he decides to steal the medicine. Was he right or wrong? And Kohlberg doesn't care whether you think he's right or you think he's wrong. Kohlberg cares how you morally reasoned that behavior. How did you come up with your answer? And you can see that in three different levels here of moral reasoning. So pre-conventional, it emphasizes rewards and punishments. So you can't, he would get in trouble, so he shouldn't do it. And this is like really young kids are going to reason at this level. Sometimes adults, depending on the situation, but you can kind of see a progression, a general linear progression as people get older. Then you have conventional moral reasoning, which emphasizes social rules. So it's illegal to steal that medicine, so that's why he should not have done it, or whatever, how we justify that action. And then post-conventional moral reasoning emphasizes moral principles. Most of that post-conventional reasoning, most of it has been since basically debunked. I have put up another moral reasoning example that was just in this past year on TV. It's from a show called The Good Place. That it was an NBC show. They did the trolley dilemma, which is really the same idea. You have the trolleys going down the track. There's 5 people on one side, 1 person on the other side. You have to decide which lever to pull, because the train is going to hit one of them. Do you hit the 5 people? Do you hit the 1 person? There's a lot of variations to that as well. Do you know the people? Do you not know the people? There's a lot that kind of goes into the variation that people have asked it, but that's kind of the general idea here. I should also say the part of the post-conventional level of reasoning that has really stood the test of time is we see it a lot in other cultures. So in collectivistic cultures versus individualistic cultures, which we tend to be in America, is basically that society has let you down. Our laws have let you down. Our government has let you down. And that's really kind of what's stood the time here. Here's just some other criticisms about Kohlberg. He only studied boys in his initial sample. So one of his grad students came back and said, oh, we need to study girls. There's going to be a big difference. Spoiler alert, there was no big difference. Girls reason the same as boys. And we see that throughout time. In this children's generosity study, children chose 10 stickers for themselves and then were asked to voluntarily and privately give some to another child whom they did not see nor did they know. Some children, especially the younger ones, were really stingy, only giving a few away, and some, especially the older ones, were quite generous, giving away more than half of their stickers. Generosity was measured by how many of the 10 stickers were donated. In every nation, as children grew older, they became more generous. It was also apparent that national wealth had a greater impact than ideology. Children were more generous in the richer nations, Canada, US, and China, than in the poorer ones, Turkey and South Africa.